So your horse will always give you a warning. There's a lot of people out there that say that all of a sudden out of the blue XYZ happened and there was no warning from the horse and what have you. That is categorically not true. If you are dealing with a horse and something happens where they spook or they run off or what have you, it may appear that it happened all of a sudden, but actually what happened is that there were a number of signs, and they might be very subtle before the thing happened, but there are a number of signs that you missed. And that can be anything from just being the horse just being a little bit distracted, preoccupied, or maybe even just not being connected fully with you. And that's not that I'm not saying that they need to be rooted on their whole attention rooted on you, but if you can see, like Mo at the moment, he's kind of looking around and he's concerning himself with things that are going on around him. If I was to ignore that, and then something's to happen, then I then can't say something happened without warning. He is giving me, if I read him correctly, I can see that his mind is in other places, and it depends on how easy it is to get his mind back, his attention back on me. The whole picture is that, when their mind is in two places, and if they're really feeling like, you've got to go off how the horse feels on the day. If they're feeling really distracted, then my advice would be to kind of get that sorted out before you go ahead and do all the things that you want to do on that day that you'd planned to do. If you have your horse with a good connection, whereby you ask something of them and they can respond almost immediately without any anxiety or stress or anything, then chances are you'll probably be okay. But if you are ignoring those signs and you're noticing that they're sort of a little bit sluggish in responding to you, or they're a bit distracted, they are giving you warnings. So my advice would be, don't ignore those warnings. Take the appropriate action. You're reading their response to things and you're taking the appropriate action. Mo today has been slightly more distracted than normal, as he has been over the last couple of 3 sessions, and I've recorded some videos on how I've been working through that and detecting it and fixing it. We've been working through that today a little bit. The point being is I didn't just ignore it and say, okay, because the last time that we did, we rode, we were fine and everything was fine, so this time everything's going to be fine too. I'm directly going off what he's telling me today in this moment, whether he's distracted or not. He's a hell of a lot more connected now than he was. His friend just kind of decided to take a walk down the field. The situation changed a little bit then, and he started to become more distracted, and now his friend's back more locally. He's becoming a little bit more centered and a bit more connected again. So these are the sort of things that I'm on about when I say you need to make sure that your horse is in the right place, and they will give you a warning. You just got to read, you've got to be there, and you've got to be making sure that you're paying attention. And it's not the horse's fault if you're not paying attention to how they're feeling and you're not fixing the stuff that needs fixing. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start to have a look at some of the things that we were looking at the other day, but I have worked through today and just have them in previous sessions and made sure that he's in the right place, make sure that his attention's in the right place.